Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Brandon from Audio Addiction. Hope you're doing well. Hope everyone had a nice Thanksgiving holiday. Appreciate you coming through. Tonight is gonna be a little different. If you are here on a normal occasion, typically I cover a lot of K-pop, but tonight we're doing something a little different. We're covering metal tonight, which is gonna be interesting. For those who know, my background is in metal music, so excited to come back. Not that I've ever been out. I'm always in the know on what's coming out, but um, yeah, very excited about this. I know everyone's been excited to do this one, so very stoked. Sarah, hello. Kaylee, hello. Gunky, hello. Yes. So very excited, very excited. Tonight we are doing Band-Maid, which I'm excited to get into a little bit more fully. I have done a decent bit on here, and in my own free time. So excited to actually fully understand, get to familiarize with their music and who they are, because I feel like I don't always do it as in depthly in terms of metal music. So excited to see and learn. So yeah, very excited. So thanks for joining if you're here. Sarah says, well, funny seeing you. I know, shocking, yeah. Unhi, yo, what's going on? Gungi says it may have went pretty in depth here. I did have a moment to take a look at it for like a brief second, but it was crazy. Sarah says, I've only been to a couple metal shows since COVID, but Band-Maid was easily top three. Hey, let's go. Very nice, very nice. I have not seen Band-Maid, so hopefully they'll come back to the States and tour, but can't be guaranteed. Um, only in easy 74 videos, which we're totally not doing all at once tonight. So, uh, anyway, Gunky has provided me with a document here. It looks like so who's Band-Maid? Band-Maid is a Japanese female rock band formed in 2013 by one of the band members, Kobato Miku, who previously worked in two maid cafes. Oh wow, okay. She envisioned a band dressed as in maid outfits, which would be contrast to rock music that they performed, which would shock listeners. This was all Miku's idea, not some corporate hit or music label. Okay, I did not know that. That's very cool. Um, let's see. They do not have an official fandom name, but go along with the maid theme. They're called Goshu Jin Sama or Oju Sama, or oh my god, there's so many so many names they go by. Masters and princesses in English. They are also they also call their concerts okuyuji or serving. Very interesting. Okay, very nice. Uh, 24-hour stream finally. Oh god, I definitely could not have done that now, but very nice, very nice. And we are not doing them all tonight. That I would like to preface. Um, I am not doing them all tonight. We're breaking this up. Biscuit, hello. Very nice. All right. So the members of members of the group are Kobatsu Miku, who's the rhythm guitarist, vocalist, and MC. She's the founder. For the first month or two, she was the main vocalist. They realized her voice alone didn't fit the type of music they were doing, so they brought in Saiki. Then learned to play guitar, which she still hated at first because it was hard and hurt her fingers. Hey, I get that. It's a difficult road. She also calls herself a pigeon because of the two kanjis in her last name, literally meaning small pigeon. Interesting. Okay. She has also taken on this persona. She will call herself Korupo, and says will say "po" a lot when she speaks to sound more like a pigeon. Oh my god. She loves horse racing, became a fan when she was young in the game Chocobo Stallion, very nice in PlayStation. She also loves poker. Oh wow. Okay, so she entered an invitational in Japan in 2022, finished second. After their third EP, she's written the majority of the lyrics of their songs. Let's see. Kanami Tono is the other guitarist. She also has another persona called Mincho that takes over when she picks up a guitar. She becomes more aggressive as Mincho. After the third EP was written, the majority. After the third EP, she has written the majority of their music. She also became Miku's guitar instructor. So she taught Miku everything she knows. Oh, very cool, very nice. Kudos. Um, let's see. Akane Heroes is the drummer. She has a nickname of Gorilla since she can eat a lot and she loves bananas. That's interesting. She also has a side project as a DJ in the earlier years of Band-Maid. Very interesting. Misa is the bassist. She is also known as the Barefoot Assassin because she performs barefoot, and her maid outfit looks like an assassin's outfit. She is known for drinking alcohol before and during a concert. Okay. Also interesting. Saiki is the main vocalist before Band-Maid. She also did modeling, singing, dancing, acting. She's a train enthusiast. Interesting. She's a huge fan of the Hanshin Tigers, a Japanese baseball team, and she also collects sneakers and has a huge collection. Okay, so she's a sneakerhead. I feel that. Andy, hello. Jazz says hi. Hi. Got to study for finals, but have fun, y'all. Good luck, Jazz. Let us know how you make out. And he says, why a deep dive? The quick answer is they have hands down my favorite band and artist. But why they're also my favorite, obviously, love their music and variety of rock and metal music they create. Rarely release songs I don't like, which is impressive since they have around 150 songs. Oh God. They are so good live, which you can see in many of their videos in this deep dive, and obviously even it's even better if you see them in person like I have. Finally, you can see and feel the passion and love that they have for the music and their performances. Very nice. And also a disclaimer, there is a flashing light preface, so if you do have that, please refrain from watching the videos. Hopefully, I assume I have been notated, so very nice. All right, so the first 6 videos we'll be learning about who the band is and who the members are. I would like to thank the channel Orenji for creating these videos. Yes, shout outs to them. Very cool. All right, well, I guess we'll get into the first 6 videos. Like I said, don't know anything about them personally, so excited to check it out. So let's watch.
Welcome to Orange's YouTube channel, dedicated to the impossibly hard-rocking band called Band-Maid. This is Mika, Orange's original character, who is the image of the channel. If you already know Band-Maid, please subscribe to this channel to support us, as well as to help us and Band-Maid reach more people all around the world. If you don't know them,
Sure,
let me
I'll
tell
subscribe.
you a story, a little summary of who Band-Maid is. We are in July 2013. Kobato Miku, a hard-working young singer,
Kobato,
wants to
okay.
create a band mixing cute outfits and cool rocking music. Platinum Passport offered her this opportunity, and Band-Maid was born. The first member to join was Kanami Tono, talented lead guitarist and songwriter who was found by Miku thanks to the covers Kanami posted on YouTube and Nico Nico Video. Next, Kanami talked to Akane, a drummer friend of hers, about her new band and asked Akane to join. After some hesitations, Akane finally accepted to be auditioned. Then, Akane talked to Misa, a bassist friend of hers. Akane knew that Misa was already in a band, but she asked her anyway. Luckily for Akane, Misa's band had just announced its disbandment, so Misa joined Akane for the audition, and Band-Maid debuted in July 2013
Wow.
with 4 members. Kobato Miku on lead vocal, Kanami on lead guitar, Misa on bass, and Akane on drums. The members quickly realized that they needed another vocalist to contrast with Miku's voice. Within the agency, they found the profile of a young dancer who wanted to become a professional singer, named Saiki. The five-piece band performed for the first time on August 22nd, 2013 at Shibuya AX in Tokyo. Band-Maid continued to perform live and record new songs for a year, but the band struggled to find their fan base despite all their efforts. Also, at the same time, the members thought about adding another guitar to the band. Since she was the founder of Band-Maid, Miku decided to learn how to play guitar, with lessons from Kanami, as Miku had never learned any instruments before. In August 2014, Band-Maid released the single Aitu Junetsu no Matadoru, and for their first MV, they chose the B-side of the single, named Thrill. This song was the turning point for Band-Maid because it not only opened their eyes to the kind of music they all wanted to do, but also because Thrill literally saved Band-Maid. The label was going to put an end to Band-Maid after the recording of this single, and the members had not been informed of this decision. But less than 5 months after the release of the MV on YouTube, a Facebook page called J-Rock Radio uploaded the MV, and Thrill exploded. The video got millions of views in just a few days, and overseas fans started to write to Band-Maid on their social media. The members even thought their Twitter account had been hacked when they saw all these messages written in different languages. 4 days later, an official Facebook page was created, and the band started to write tweets in English. Band-Maid was able to tour overseas for the first time in 2016 with concerts in Mexico, United States, and Europe, and continued to tour overseas every year except during COVID. Band-Maid continued to release songs provided by external songwriters until the release of their mini-album Brand New Made, when the members were finally able to write their first song, called Alone. From this moment, Band-Maid wrote and composed almost all of their music.
I wonder why.
New songs
That's
and
interesting.
performing a lot of concerts every year. All the members evolved a lot since the foundation of Band-Maid. Saiki, the shy young singer who at first had trouble fitting in with the other members, has become a confident lead singer with an insane stage presence. Kobato Miku, who could barely play some notes on a guitar, has become a confident guitar player who's not afraid to stand in front of the stage and show her skills while still doing backup vocals. Kanami, who learned guitar very late and started to write her own songs very early, polished her skills with the pen and the guitar to write intricate songs with melodies that will blow your mind. Akane, who struggled to keep up with the fast-paced songs, is now able to follow the rhythm of any song Kanami can write. And Misa, who almost left Band-Maid, who lacked confidence and was always at the back of the stage. Her bass skills have improved immensely, and now she's ready to show off whenever she starts to perform the music she loves. If you want to know more about Band-Maid's members, we made a documentary.
Very nice. Okay, cool. This looked like it was the stopping point. Very nice. Sonja, hello. Thanks for coming through. Yes, we are checking out Band-Maid for like the next 4 streams. So come through. Would love to see you. He says one of the videos will mention why they took so long to release a song written by them. Yeah, I think that was kind of the only thing that stood out to me. Other than that, it was very cool. Like I said, I don't know how they got their beginning. So also crazy they've been doing it for 12 years now, I guess. Yeah, 12 years if I can math correct. That's wild. good for them. I mean, to do anything for more than a decade, I think is especially post COVID is incredible. So, very cool, very cool. I'm very glad that they're still making music, and hopefully they will be back to touring the States again. So I'll be able to see them perform at some point. But very nice. All right, cool. I guess we will be moving on to the next one, which is Miku's video. So let's keep it rolling.
Breaking new gate.
We are in Kumamoto, a city located in the prefecture with the same name on the island of Kyushu. This is where Kobato Miku was born a few decades ago. Her parents were a remarried couple, and she has a half-brother who's 11 years older from her father's previous marriage. As you could imagine, she was a very active child, much to the dismay of her parents, who struggled to keep an eye on her, as she was the kind of child who snuck out of her house to play or run all around as soon as she was taken to large open spaces. She loved to play with boys at games like Chanbara, which is basically sword fighting for kids, or catch insects in the summer, but those little trips and games cost Miku a lot of bumps and bruises. Miku was introduced into music very early by her grandmother, who went to an enka karaoke class. When she was around 7 or 8, Miku fell in love with music and singing as she followed her grandmother to local public hall gatherings. At this time, Miku only knew enka, so that's all she sang. The first song she learned was Jindo Monogatari by Yoshimi Tendo.
Taking the couches off. God, so bad.
Her mother was worried that Miku would only be interested in enka, so she asked her to listen to other musical genres and offered her a CD of the idol band Morning Musume. And so, with time, Miku came to experience and listen to more and more different kinds of music. In high school, Miku was in the broadcasting club. Of course she was. This is the club responsible for those announcements that you hear in the school from time to time, like morning or lunch break news. Back then, Miku's friends were really into bands and took her to live performances of smaller amateur groups covering popular songs. Miku was not that interested in the bands, but this experience made her look into more bands to listen to. During her research, she came across Tokyo Jihen, a Japanese rock band formed around the popular singer Sheena Ringo.
Interesting vocal tone.
Miku was stunned by their sound and finally found the music that she wanted to do. It was also during this time that Miku's parents got divorced, and her father totally disappeared from her life. From then on, she had to live with her grandmother. It was a hard time for her and her family, but she tried to find a proper high school and think about her future. No time to think about making music for a living, even though this idea was starting to grow in her mind. When she was at university, Miku missed a lot of classes because she was working part-time to earn enough money to participate in multiple auditions in Tokyo. The problem was, she never told her mother about all her travels to the big city. And the more Miku went to Tokyo, the more she wanted to live there. So, In October 2010, on her birthday, Miku presented her I Want to Live in Tokyo plan to her mother to try and reassure her. This plan was basically to find enough part-time work to pay for her life there, along with vocal training. Miku knew that living in a big city like Tokyo would cost a lot, so she took as many jobs as she could. At one point, she had 3 different jobs, leaving her with just a few hours of sleep per day. She was willing to do anything to realize her dream. One of her jobs was at a maid cafe in Kumamoto. This is the kind of job that fit her perfectly, as she was very interested in customer service, loved to talk to people, and loved the idea of wearing a cute outfit at work. This particular maid cafe only lasted 6 months, until December 31st, 2010. It's hard for this kind of business to last in local cities like Kumamoto because of the lack of new customers daily. With nothing holding her back in Kumamoto and enough money from all her hard work, Miku quit university and moved to Tokyo to start a new life pursuing her dream of becoming a singer. Now that she was living in Tokyo, Miku easily found a part-time job as she had already a lot of experience from her life in Kumamoto. Miku discovered the concept of maid cafe in her hometown, so she thought that it would be a good idea to try and work in a maid cafe in Akihabara, the place where maid cafes are the most popular in Japan. She started to work at the at-home cafe in May 2011 under the name Himawari, which means sunflower. This maid cafe was way bigger than the one in Kumamoto, and this one held performances and events where Miku could work on her singing regularly. It was a great experience for her, as she learned a lot about human relations, handling different types of people, and even calming down angry customers arguing with each other. After all, Miku wanted to do everything to make everyone happy. She also learned a lot from overseas customers and how they perceive maid cafes as a part of the Japanese culture. Miku worked almost a year for At Home Cafe, but quit in January 2012. She had a ceremony celebrating her time working there, and there was a lot of messages from regulars and overseas customers. She even wrote a moving message on the blog of the maid cafe.
なんかやっと卒業したんだなって実感湧いてきました。なんかじわじわ来るね。イベントにも参加させてもらったり、歌プロにも出させてもらったり、プロマイドを撮ったり、撮影会したり、錬金だったり、振り返ってみたらいろいろしたな。自分がイベントするなんか思ってもなかったけど、まさか卒業するとはね。あ、書き損ねたんですが、スーツで来てくれたご主人様、ありがとうございました。私得でした。あと、素敵なお花もありがとう。あと、チェキの受け取りがまだの方、なるべく早くお絵かきしてドンキに持っていきますので、後日ドンキへお願いします。ごめんなさい。いろんなことがあったりしたけど、やっぱり私はアットホームが大好きです。8ヶ月間で出会ったご主人様やお嬢様、メイドさんを絶対に忘れません。アット中だった私が全く秋葉原に行かなくなるなんて到底無理な話なので、きっとまたお会いすることもあるかもしれません。もしまたどこかで私を見かけたらよろしくお願いします。私にとってこれからがスタートだと思ってます。みんながくれた気持ちを胸に頑張っていきたいと思います。さよならはしないです。ありがとうございました。頑張ります。ひまわり。
The reason why she left was because she'd won the Super Idol audition on December 9th, 2011. This competition started in the summer of 2011 with 2,600 applicants. Their goal was to create a 3-member idol band with the votes of the fans. The Super Idol audition was also broadcast on MXTV on December 30th, 2011.
ありがとうございます。野口美香です。すごいとにかく今頭の中真っ白なんですけど、すごい嬉しいです。今後ユニットとして3人で頑張っていきたいと思いますので、まだまだ未熟なところとかいっぱいあると思うんですけど、一緒に応援していただけたらなと思います。私は熊本から出てきたんですけど、すごい親にもいい報告ができて、アルバイト先のこのメイドさんをしてるんですけど、常連さんも見に来てくれていい報告ができることがすごく嬉しいです。これから頑張っていきます。ありがとうございました。
This contest allowed Miku to join an underground idol band, or Chika Idol in Japanese, named Lil Kumin 3 months later, in March 2012. An underground idol band works with a minor label and will only perform in very small areas or events. It's well known that very few underground idol bands can become bigger and join a major label, so the chances for Lil Kumin to get bigger were really small. No pun intended. The name of the band came from the very short height of the 3 members, and that the birth flower of December 9th, when the result of the audition was announced, was Kumin. Lil Kumin was active until April 13th, 2013, when they announced they had disbanded during a one-man concert in Shinjuku Orebako due to Miku and another member quitting the band. About a month after the release of the 3rd single called Super Trooper, and their first one-man concert in the same venue. In the end, Lil Kumin released 3 singles and performed about 100 shows during a year of activities. In an interview, Miku confirmed that it was not her thing to sing cute idol songs. She didn't hate it, but it was too different from the music she wanted to sing. Back to square one for Miku, who decided to send her resume to Platinum Passport, explaining the kind of music she wanted to do. The company reached back to Miku and scheduled a meeting to talk about her project.
All right, very cool. Gungi told me I have to stop here at 12 minutes, so very nice. One comment, I like that they used one of my favorite animes of all time, K-On! They used some scenes from that anime, which I thought was really sick, especially the one where they're at the maid where they had to do a maid cafe thing in the episode. So very cool, very fitting. Highly recommend it. Go check that out. Also, I feel like I'd like to preface my 2 favorite music animes, K-On! And Bocchi the Rock. I feel like if you like this type of music, you should definitely check out Bocchi the Rock. Incredible anime. But other than that, very cool, very interesting. I guess the interesting part about it is how many things you would have to go through in order to become a group, either a group, or I had no idea she was doing more J-pop stuff. So I thought that was very interesting. But other than that, very cool. She's got a very interesting backstory. I'm also very curious, just based off of her age. I'm curious if we are close, if not very similar in age, because I think she went to university probably around the same time that I went to start going to college. So I think if we're not the same age, I'll have to look, but I think we'd imagine being pretty close to the same age. So very interesting. Gungi says, Beck is one of my favorite music animes. Hey, okay. I'll have to check that out. She's in her early 30s. So yeah, we're in the same bracket. because I'm also in my early 30s. So very cool, very cool. Kudos to her. But all right, very nice. We are going to move on to Saki's next, and I have to start at the 1 minute and 23 second mark. So let's go.
Band-Maid. Begin with Saiki. Saiki was born on February 8th, 1994, in Yamanashi, a prefecture not far from Tokyo. She spent her childhood with her mother and her stepfather, as her parents are divorced. Her mother was born and raised in Osaka, and Saiki describes her mother as a person who doesn't hold anything back and could be very aggressive. A more intense version of Saiki, if you will. I guess that now you understand where her stage character comes from. It's not just a character, after all. Saiki was introduced to music at a very early age, around 8 or 9, when her mother took her regularly to the izakaya of her mother's
she's
friend,
34.
a Japanese pub
Miku
where you
is.
can drink,
That makes
talk
sense.
loud, and even sing.
Close.
Speaking of
Close.
singing, this particular izakaya had a karaoke, where Saiki was able to sing a lot. Growing up, Saiki developed other passions like fashion and shoes, to name a few. Talking about shoes, you can find
Damn.
videos of her showing a room full of sneakers in a series called Maid's Room, available for Omeshu-sama members. She also loves to do her nails, and she has posted a lot of photos of her nails done on her Instagram, along with her modeling photos where she poses with various types of clothes. Saiki is even one of the main models when it comes to feature Band-Maid clothes for the official shop website. Saiki is also a huge fan of trains. She likes to take photos and visit museums like the
That's
Kyoto
sick.
Railway Museum, where she went in 2016. But there is something else very present in Saiki's daily life, and it's the only other topic you can see on her Twitter account: the Japanese baseball team, Hanshin Tigers. Saiki is a huge fan of this team that she has supported for a long, long time. She retweets every victory, and sometimes she just tweets about them. She even talked about the Hanshin Tigers during the radio show she hosted with Miku in 2021. Even though Saiki was very influenced in her career, first modeling, taking singing lessons, a small appearance as a dancer in a music video from May J called Garden, and then scouted one more time during those lessons by her current agency to audition for a newly formed band. An interesting opportunity, right? Oh, I forgot something. Remember those dance lessons Saiki took? Well, you might wonder where her mesmerizing moves come from. Now you know. All right, let's get back to Saiki's audition. At first, she was just informed that a band was looking for a lead singer. She didn't know the name of the band, any of the other members, nor the particularity of this band. The manager of Band-Maid at this time knew that Saiki would immediately refuse if she had any idea of what was waiting for her with this audition. What a risky move, don't you think? Imagine if he told her and she just passed on the audition. What would have happened? Well, thankfully, we don't have to think of this possibility. Anyway, Saiki was invited to listen to the band and sing with them to see if she was a good fit. The other members weren't there when she arrived, but the agency president told her about the concept of the band and, well, Saiki was not really happy about that. But fortunately, for everyone, her desire to follow her passion and sing for a living was bigger than ever. So she passed the audition with a lot of second thoughts like, maid costumes? Really? For a rock band? Will that work? Saiki is not the kind of person who likes to sing cute songs and force herself to be cute just for the sake of it. And don't.
All right, very cool. This is interesting. I feel like like I said, I appreciate when people show me these like documentary type videos. It's always very interesting to see like everyone's everyone's addition to the band. I feel like it's kind of similarly to like, my rabbit hole of like metalcore knowledge or like post-hardcore knowledge. So very interesting. Also, got to give a shout out to ORNG for compiling all this information. I don't even want to know how long it took for them to actually put it all together, but good for them. Um, Saiki is very interesting. I gotta give, like I said, I gotta give her a lot of love for being a sneakerhead. There is a portion of my life where I got really into them. I still am to some degree, but probably not as much as Saiki. But I did see some heat. She's got some heat for sure. You know, I saw a couple like Jordan 3s, uh, some like 97 Air Maxes. So I know she knows her shit. So very cool. Definitely had like a lot of classic sneakers. So very interesting. Guggy says she actually recently got to meet her favorite Hunjin Tiger players, and she was bawling her eyes out. Hey, that makes sense. That makes sense. And I would never know all this information, so it's nice that people do these types of videos. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel like I almost always get recommended some sort of like documentary or like guide videos for like a lot of K-pop groups. So eventually, if I have some free time, I would probably check them out. But I also feel like I love K-pop. I love listening to them and stuff like that, and listening to the different artists that we listen to, you know, from week to week. Um, but I don't know. I feel like it's so difficult to like be so invested in a group like that. You know, just groups in general. So I genuinely don't like. I appreciate the people that are like fully like they fully stand like one group or like a couple of groups because I imagine how much time it must take for them to like be truly invested in that. So, kudos to you guys if you do wind up doing that. It's impressive. So, um, all right, cool. Saiki was cool. Miku was cool. I think Miko's been my favorite so far because she, you know, she definitely seems like a little bit of a wild card. But honestly, I feel like if she didn't do what she had to do, then I feel like Band-Maid wouldn't be where it's at now. So, uh, gotta give her a shout out for the risk taking. You know, so no, so this was cool. Um, Miku is a character for sure. Yeah, I agree. I agree. So very nice. We're gonna get into Kanami next. So let's check it out.
Now that we've talked about Saiki, I have to introduce you to her biggest fan. But you know her already, right? She has at least two personalities. Both of them love Saiki more than anything, and she is, with the help of the other members, the genius who writes Band-Maid songs since 2015. Even though her name and persona change as soon as she holds a guitar, let me present you Kanami. Kanami was born on September 28th in Kanagawa, a prefecture very close to Tokyo, which includes the cities of Yokohama and Kawasaki. She is the youngest child of her family with an older brother and sister. During her childhood, her parents wanted her to participate in a lot of various activities, so she tried ballet, piano, calligraphy, English, and a lot more. But in the end, she only kept playing piano.
Oh wow, she's a great piano player.
Even though she was a quiet child, she became more and more active as she was growing up. You might think that rock music hit her at an early age, but it was only when she was 17 and joined a music club in her school as a keyboardist that she fell into the genre. Kanami didn't stick too long with the keyboard as she learned guitar to be popular with the girls. That's right, she wanted to look cool in front of the other girls. Only Kanami could come up with a story like that. And you know what? It worked. The girls talked a lot about how cool she was when she played guitar. Well done, Kanami. Well done. However, she also talked about how Room 335 by Larry Carlton moved her, and how this song in particular is a starting point of Kanami wanting to get serious with her guitar playing. At first, she played alone to practice and improve her skills. Then she joined a classmate's band and learned to play a lot of Western hard rock songs from bands like Kiss, Deep Purple, and Metallica, to name a few.
Okay.
It was also during her high school senior year that Kanami started to write songs. But once she got to university, she decided to become a singer/songwriter. She was going to a regular university as her parents decided for her. She studied economics and management to be able to learn about the music industry and how to promote herself as a musician/singer/songwriter.
Ah.
At this time, she wrote songs, sang, played acoustic and electric guitar, and also played her solos. With all these skills, Kanami kept working alone and learned programming to create her own songs. The only problem was that she didn't really like to sing. Yes, you heard me. Kanami didn't like to sing. It sounds weird, right? As she seems to love doing backup vocals with Band-Maid. But Kanami wanted to be a professional musician, so she took some singing lessons anyway because she didn't want to be a bad singer. So she kept practicing and also posted her songs and cover videos on Nico Nico and YouTube. Unfortunately, those videos are not available anymore, but Kanami did some other covers, like this one.
That's an OG song. Holy shit. Wow. That's sick.
I'm sure you can see where I'm going, right? A little someone you already know found Kanami's videos and contacted her through the talent agency during the year 2013. They met, Miku played some songs to Kanami to see if she was willing to join, and she immediately said yes. Even the maid outfit wasn't a problem for Kanami, as she used to wear the same kind of outfit during a school culture festival just a few years before. Please note that Kanami is the only member of Band-Maid who didn't even hesitate to join when being informed that every member will have to wear a maid outfit during live performances. That's our girl. Now that Kanami is part of Band-Maid, the female hard rock band started to record songs, and even though Kanami wrote songs for a while, all the lyrics and arrangements were provided by other songwriters. Of course, she tried to write song after song for almost 3 years, but they were rejected by management. Finally, Saiki believed in Kanami's songwriting talent, which is one of the main reasons why she kept writing again and again. If there are people close to me who accept my music, I must do my best. We are now in 2016 for the release of Brand New Maid, the third studio album from Band-Maid with 8 brand new songs. I chose to talk about this album in particular because something changed for our 5 talented musicians. This time, they wrote and arranged their very first song.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
This is a huge step for our little band, and a lot more is coming. For their next single, called YOLO, released just 6 months later, they used some parts of the arrangement of an old song Kanami wrote before joining Band-Maid. The rest of the songs were written by the band, as almost all of their future songs, even now. If you look at the details in the music and arrangement, the last song that wasn't 100% Band-Maid is Smile, a song released in January 2019 as a B-side of the single named Bubble.
Very interesting. Okay, that makes more sense. This was Kanami. Very nice. Connie, hello. Thanks for hanging. She is a great musician. I would agree. Kanami does some backup vocals here and there. Yeah, I do remember that. This is cool. I probably I probably resonate the most with Konami, not just because she's a guitar player, but I also like my parents are very similar. Like I'm obviously not very good at piano, but I did learn like piano, and they tried to get me into like karate and stuff. So, but guitar was like one of the first things like that really just kind of actually, funnily enough, probably just more of a Brandon fun fact here, but I didn't want to play guitar for like the longest time. I thought it was kind of cheesy, if I'm being honest. And then our one of my dad's old friends was in like a hair 80s like hair metal band, and he had a guitar and he was like playing it. I'm like, damn, this is kind of cool. So then after that point, I picked up the guitar, and I've been playing for God, at least, oh God, I don't even want to know, probably at least 12 years now, if not, no, it's been longer than that. Um, Probably close to, I want to say probably close to 20 years now at this point, maybe. Um, but yeah, so that's how I got into it. But I definitely get what Kanami was saying about like wanting to learn about guitar and like really kind of get involved more. And now it makes sense. Like some of her leads, I was like, I wonder if she's like influenced by like a lot of like early like hard rock slash like probably like more old school metal. And that makes sense because there's a lot of interesting things I could reference her like some of her solos to like similarly to like Kirk Hamlet of Metallica. So it was very interesting. Now I know pretty much factually that she was influenced by Metallica, so that makes sense. Great guitar player, of course. But that's interesting. Very nice. Um, yeah, cool stuff. Other than that, like I said, she's a great guitar player. Now it makes sense because like I was trying to figure out why they like didn't write any of their own music early on, and it makes sense because maybe just like management with bands is so interesting. Um, so I guess maybe they just didn't have the full faith that like that Band-Maid could do it. So I don't know. I think it's always would be interesting to know if they had maybe started out earlier on writing their own music, like what that would have done for their trajectory of their band. But um, it makes sense now. I don't know how in the weeds it was, but very interesting. So, all right, very cool. We're gonna move on to Akane. So I'm excited. Excited. Let's see what she's all about.
What the hell is this? Ooh, that was way too loud. Sorry about that. All right, who is the next one? Let's see here. Oh, what? She was the one. Wait, she's also a DJ? Really? Okay then. Let's talk about Akane.
Akane, sorry.
Akane was born on December 14th in Hyogo, a prefecture very close to Osaka. She lived with her mother, her stepfather, and for a short period of time, with her stepbrother, who is 11 years older. During her youngest years, Akane was very unsociable and the one to do whatever she wanted, like
I know.
kindergarten to go home.
I think my brain went autopilot and it was like, oh, arcade.
She likes to say
It's got to sound similar to that.
Child. Note that in Japan,
I would
go to school
not
and
make
come
it in
back home
Japan
on
for
their
sure.
own very early, sometimes at 3 or 4. Over the years, she became more and more friendly and discovered that talking to other people wasn't that bad after all. During her school years, she loved home economics and art, but hated studying. She was also bad at physical activities. Who would have thought?
That's
Being a huge
interesting.
fan of manga, Akane was easily influenced by The Prince of Tennis or Slam Dunk to try different sports, but soon realized that her motivation was gone pretty quickly. She's the kind of person who wants to try everything that could interest her, but nothing lasted very long, except one thing. And this is something that we've seen in Saiki and Kanami's childhood. Akane has loved music since she was very little. For her, it started with piano in kindergarten and lasted a few years before she stopped because the joy wasn't there anymore. Although she can still play some songs on the piano, even today.
It's a good song, though.
She continued for 5 years with trombone, but it wasn't something she saw herself pursuing. At the end of her trombonist career, she realized that a lot of her friends joined bands, so she went to a lot of live performances and music festivals with them. That's how the idea of being in a band started to grow in Akane's head. So she joined the K-On! Club to form a band.
Hey, nice.
To get an idea of what it was like, you can watch the anime K-On! Akane started with the guitar, but soon realized that her hands were too small to play, and it was impossible for her to continue. The bass was off the table too, as you can imagine, and she's no singer, at least according to her, so what's left? Yes, drums. And once Akane tried a drum kit, she felt that that was it. While learning drums, she started to listen to rock bands like El Garden and Bump of Chicken to end up making covers of their songs. She also learned about the band Maximum the Hormone and their female drummer, Now. Akane was stunned to discover that the drummer of this hard-rockin' band was not a man. This was the kind of drummer she wanted to become, so she kept this picture of a strong female drummer in her mind as a role model. It was, and still is, important to Akane to have an impact on anyone who thinks that a female drummer can only play soft and not hard. With this image in mind, she practiced every week at her school, the only place that had a drum kit available, as she didn't own one. The other problem was that she was alone in her club, so she could only practice by herself. By the end of her second year, she wanted to do a graduation live performance, so she gathered some of her friends from her old symphonic band days and performed a copy of the group Pez, a Japanese instrumental band consisting of a trumpet, a saxophone, a double bass, a keyboard vocalist, and of course, drums. You might be surprised to learn that Akane wanted to work as a hairdresser after graduation. But as she started drums and was 100% committed to improve her playing skills, she completely changed her mind and instead wanted to enroll in a music school. Against the will of her teacher, but with the support of her parents, Akane went to the Tokyo School of Music for 2 years to follow her passion.
Wow.
She was surrounded by talented musicians who wanted to become professional. Even though she was just a beginner in her class, she worked very hard and played every day to catch up with the other students. It was during those years that she joined a band who did a combined live show with another band featuring the one and only Kanami. She immediately acknowledged how good Kanami was with the guitar and wanted to know more about her. It turned out that they lived very close from each other, so they quickly became friends. Kanami used to ask
sweet.
Akane to play drums on her demos before sending them to record companies. Unfortunately, Akane's band didn't stay together very long, and she was back to square one. But Akane was resourceful, so she started a part-time job as a waitress in a music restaurant in Yokohama. She could watch live performances and sometimes have a sit behind the kit to play when the restaurant closed for the day. she told the manager that she plays drums, so he asked if she could play right now. And she did. Akane played Highway Star from Deep Purple, and the manager agreed to let her play. He even offered to train her. From that moment, Akane trained every day to improve her skills and become a better drummer. We are now in 2013, and Band-Maid is actively looking for 3 female musicians to join a rock band while wearing maid outfits. I say 3 because at this time, they weren't searching for a lead vocalist yet. Our little pigeon already recruited Kanami, so the band was looking for a drummer and a bassist. As you can imagine, Kanami talked to Akane about this opportunity. She trusted her with her demos, so why shouldn't she? At first, Kanami mentioned the label and Akane was excited, until Kanami revealed that they are recruiting for an all-girls band. In case you wonder, she hadn't even mentioned the part where they would all have to be dressed in maid outfits. Akane had too many bad experiences from all-girl bands, so she wasn't really thrilled about this idea. But the restaurant she was working at was about to close for good, so she took some time to think about it and finally decided to join Kanami. What about the maid outfit, you would ask? Well, she was reluctant at first, but how do you know that it's bad without even trying? After all, if Kanami is already there, it'll be okay, right? So she was willing to give it a try anyway. Kanami sent her some demos, and Akane found the music really cool right away. And the image of an all-girls band dressed like maids playing this kind of music was really interesting for her. She felt that her reluctance against all-girl bands and maid outfits was fading away as her motivation kept growing. Just a few months later, a 5-members acoustic band was created under the name Mochi to Cheese. What's the link with Akane, you could ask? Well, Akane and Kanami were both part of this side band with 3 members from the band Predia, an idol group formed in 2010 under the same agency as Band-Maid, Platinum Passport. They started to perform in the streets with acoustic covers and even performed live a few times over the 2 years of activity. The band also covered Forward, a song from Band-Maid. A single was released in September 2015, but only 2 months later, they sent their last tweet and posted their last entry in their blog. After that, we did not hear from Mochi to Cheese again. Their YouTube channel is still available, so you can at least watch a fraction of their performances.
Oh God. Oh yeah, we're at the set. I completely forgot. Oh yeah, it was at 9 minutes. So very interesting. All right, went a little too far. Very interesting. I feel feel like I'm gonna say that for every person that we talk about, but I felt like hers was probably the most. I feel like it was the most on point in terms of if I was. I'm sure if I had gotten asked to be a part of a group or something like that, I feel like this would be an interesting thing to get involved with. So, but I had no idea she was very similar to some of the other members where she went through a couple different instruments and then ultimately landed on drums. So that's really cool. Also insane that she went to the Tokyo Music School. I feel like that's pretty intense too. So she's an incredible drummer. So I'm not really surprised that she's continually gotten better and better over the releases and obviously them as a band. So very nice, very nice. Excited to see obviously get into the music after this video, but very nice, very nice. And the last one we're doing is Misa. So let's get into it real quick. Gogi says one of the members from that side group they did was also from Predia, which is the lead singer of East of Eden. It did look familiar. She did look. One of the members did look really familiar. So now it makes sense. So wow, it's all connected. It's also crazy that she also went to a metal band as well. That's I don't know if that label is just mostly metal bands or something, but the funnel between those two is very interesting. So crazy, 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 crazy. All right, well, let's get into the bassist Misa next.
はい
じゃあ次はベースミサにしましょう
ミサちゃん
ミサちゃんは1回目で言ってびっくりされるのはステージドリンクがウイスキーストレート
本当にあの人酔っ払
Let's go to
一番面白い
135.
人だもんねきっと
So today, let's talk
Very
about
nice.
Misa. Misa was born on October 15th in Okayama, a prefecture close to Osaka, and
Oh, wow.
next to Hyogo, where Akane was born. According to her mother, she was an easy child to raise, as she used to play by herself. Even though she was a lively child, she always avoided dangerous situations and tried to act like an adult. She loved music and arts in general, but hated studying. And just like Kanami
That's
and
fair.
Akane, music has been a part of Misa's life since her early childhood, as she started to learn piano when she was around 4. In elementary school, she joined a brass band and played alto horn. Right when she entered junior high school, Misa moved to Tokyo due to family circumstances, and her temper changed a lot. She had a hard time fitting in with life in the big city and getting along with her peers from the same grade. She was also afraid to be judged because of her accent, which was different from the other children, and became more and more introverted. In 7th grade, she started to play guitar, but ended up joining a concert band in 9th grade, where she played the trumpet. Even though she did learn a lot of different instruments, she kept learning piano for a few years. In high school, she played as a guitarist vocalist in a Keon club with a Fender Squier model that she bought. One day, an older friend of Misa asked her if she could join his band as a bassist. Until then, she'd never thought about playing bass. She started to play guitar and always wanted to play drums, but bass? It had never crossed her mind. Misa borrowed a bass and started to play, and even though it was difficult, she loved it and bought a Squier P bass immediately
Hey,
so she could
nice.
give back the bass she borrowed. And one of the main reasons Misa got introduced to music at such an early age was that her mother listened to music all the time. This is how Misa got to hear bands like the Red Hot Chili Peppers and The Who when she was still only in kindergarten.
Hey, nice.
Her mother was also very supportive and helped Misa choose the right school when she hesitated between university and professional college. Misa started a course on sound engineering in a professional college before changing to a bass course, as she didn't want to work behind a stage, but on stage as a professional bassist. Before talking about Band-Maid, let's take a look at Misa's past experience in the music industry. Except for small bands during her school years, Misa had been a member of a band named Prototype for 5.5 years between 2008 and 2013. Prototype was a small band composed of 4 members, and the band made at least 2 mini-albums and performed several live concerts. We don't have that much information, but it seems that they sold their CDs directly and not via music stores. They used to perform in and around Shimokitazawa, which is where Misa lived, and Shibuya. There is a review of one of their live performances which states that they sound like the Smashing Pumpkins and are appealing to everyone who loves Western music. The person who wrote this review also said that they couldn't stop smiling. It sounds like this band must have played some great music. But that's not all. While she was playing for Prototype, Misa joined another band called Hertist. This band was formed with 6 members who performed live several times before disbanding in October 2012. You can find 3 of their live videos on their YouTube channel. Misa and Akane also met in 2012 as they were going to the same school, the Tokyo Music School. They connected immediately as instrumentalists and worked together on several projects. The same year, they made an appearance as actors in an MV of the singer-actress Becky with the song Yoruka Switch. In 2015, Misa, along with Kanami and Akane, were at the 5th anniversary party of the idol band Predia in Zepp, Tokyo, as a backing band. You do remember the link between Predia and Band-Maid, right? There was a band called Mochi to Cheese made by Akane, Kanami, and 3 members from Predia. All right, we are in May 2013. Prototype announced that they will disband in July, and Band-Maid posted an audition announcement on May 29th. The next month, on June 5th, Misa announced on her old account linked to Prototype that she's going to an audition. Does this mean that Misa had the perfect timing to join Band-Maid? Let's see how she was recruited. In another interview, Misa confirmed that Akane tried to recruit her into Band-Maid right when Prototype announced their disbanding. But Akane didn't know about this information, so she was bold enough to invite Misa to join another band. And it paid off. Now, Misa has said that she was in izakaya when Akane called her, and she was pretty drunk, so she had to take at least the night to think about it. Misa listened to the demo and found that the songs were proper rock music and cool. She was actually afraid that this band would be an idol band. As she didn't want to stop playing bass, Misa quickly accepted the invitation to join Band-Maid the day after Akane talked to her. So in the end, Miku recruited Kanami, who was found on Nico Nico. And then Kanami recruited Akane just after the restaurant she was working at closed, and Akane recruited Misa just after her group disbanded. Wow. If that is not fate, I don't know what is. Now that Misa had joined Band-Maid, it's a new start for our favorite bassist. A new start, yes, but with one problem: the maid outfit. Misa was never into cosplay, so she wasn't used to wearing this kind of clothing. She felt really uncomfortable during the first live shows and with the first version of her outfit. It was also around this time when Misa thought about quitting.
Very interesting. Okay. Oh wait, that means
Band-Maid.
sorry. I still got time. Sorry.
It was during the first or
I
second
ended
one-man
too soon.
performance, and Misa was already working a lot in addition to her work
It's
for
closer to 10
Band-Maid.
minutes.
So she was in really bad physical and mental condition. She felt that the music she liked was too far from the music she played with the band, and started to think about leaving and forming a band where she could play the kind of music she liked. She talked to the manager, who proposed that she take a good look at the view from the stage at the Masters and Princesses and decide after that. Thankfully, the reactions and responses from the crowd that day moved Misa deeply enough so she chose to stay with Band-Maid. She was sure that this band had great potential and could become way bigger. Time flies.
All right. Very cool. Now I actually finished it. The one comment that RNG made about the fate aspect of it, I thought was very interesting, because I am sat here thinking about, like, obviously how they all kind of came together, but it truly is interesting. And I probably could just speak about most bands. It's just interesting how they're put together, right? Like, I think it's just like right place, right time in certain circumstances. And it seems like, at least for Band-Maid, it seems that they are just You know, I think it is really cool to see that they at first all had a little bit of reservations about how, you know, how it should look, but obviously, yeah, I feel like they all can look back on it and say like, hey, this is probably, you know, despite not being a fan of the outfits at first, I think they obviously have come around to it a lot, which is cool. And I think also too now I feel like they've also I don't know how to put it. I guess they've altered their outfits to make it seem more appropriate to them and how they go about their daily lives. So I feel like that's cool as well. And also I love that they just kind of have like their almost on stage personas, you know, and some of their actual character as individuals kind of shine through as, you know, on a live performance aspect of things. But yeah, it was really cool. Like I said, this was much more information than I think I would have ever thought I would need to know about Band-Maid, but very, very interesting. Someone just says the outfits are what make the band stand out. Interesting that not all of them were on board or felt uncomfortable wearing them. And Cookie says I don't blame them though. I wouldn't want to dress like that. I feel like to me, I am obviously not a female faced person. But I feel like for me, like I'd imagine there has to be some sort of like stigma and maybe potentially the reason why they decided to do the maid outfit. But I do feel like there is a stigma to like maid outfits. So I could totally understand, I guess, from an outside perspective of like, oh yeah, this would be uncomfortable in that aspect just because people might think that you're not in a band. They might just assume that you're like, you know, part of like maid culture or, you know, in Japan or whatever. So I could definitely see, you know, a lot of reservations, but you know, it looks like I said, they've come out and they've enjoyed, like, it seems like it's something that they enjoy now. So, very interesting. Son just says, but the outfits are cool. So the idea of the fits is cool. I would also agree, Sonja. Gaki says the big thing to know about the MVs is there's no videos for their first EP. They never made an MV, and the live performance do exist from back then are pretty bad quality. So we're starting with their first single, which came out after. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, we're actually getting into some we have listened to a little bit of music, but we're actually getting into the first video from them. This is Love, Passion, and Matador is the title song from the single release of the same name. Gogi again said there's no MV, but the song Thrill is on the same release. The song is a tribute to Santana, featuring a Spanish guitar vibe and lyrics that use Matador and bullfighting as metaphors for passionate, yet ultimately destructive love. Okay. Very interesting. I have not listened to this one, so give it a listen. Okay. Yep. Definitely Santana vibes. I definitely get the Santana influence. Very interesting. tremolo pick. Cool. Nice. All right, very cool. This was Love, Passion, Matador by Band-Maid. Very, very interesting. Someone just says Santana, so interesting. I agree. Guggy says the lyric can be hit or miss, so check on each one. Okay, I will definitely do that. They also said I really like this song, and a big thing for Band-Maid is variety. I will say, yeah, I am familiar with their variety game, but I thought this was very cool. I enjoyed it. I definitely get the Santana influence. If that again is potentially the song is a tribute to Santana. Yeah, so I definitely can kind of get that influence, especially with the guitar structure on this. Very Santana influenced. Even when it comes down to like actually like a lot of the lead guitar as well. Like I said, very influenced by Santana. Makes sense. And Kanami's leads are really really sick. So I definitely enjoyed that a lot. I also noticed a lot of Misa's bass riffing. Like I feel like I haven't really listened to a lot of early Band-Maid stuff. But I loved her like bass lines. I like that it kind of again pairs really well with kind of the rhythm section with Akane, Akane, excuse me. I don't know why I keep saying Akane. But I think it's really, really interesting that she kind of breaks off, Misa kind of breaks off into different like rhythm sections, and obviously you can tell that more in more of the current material. But I felt like with this song, like it was cool to see her kind of break off and do different things because it seems like it's been something that's been a part of their discography for quite a long time. So it's cool that even earlier on, she was really kind of trying to test the waters, at least on the bass side of things. And now I feel like she has absolutely become a force in their more modern music. But it's cool to see her kind of take like little baby steps almost in that aspect. And again, it shows that I did not know she was in a project before this. Before Band-Maid, so I feel like the comfortability level was already there, and it just continued to kind of snowball as they've released music. But yeah, I thought this was really cool. I like this. It is an interesting choice to start off with. I don't, like I said, I wouldn't have particularly thought this would be a tribute to Santana, but like very interesting, very 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 unique song to start off with. So. All right. Well, we're gonna move on to the next one, which is Thrill. Guy says this is originally released as a B-side on the single album. And this is the most important song in Band-Maid's discography because it's the song that saved their career, which we did notate in their video. Thrill explores the feeling of breaking free from limitation and embracing new, exciting paths, both musically and personally. So, very nice. All right, let's get into Thrill then. It's a very like Pantera style riff. I didn't think about that. Like classic rock meets like hard metal. Very interesting. double bass push. That's cool. Nice. Hammer-ons pull off. Nice. All right, very cool. This was Band-Maid's Thrill. Very nice. Goggy says, on this deep dive, Thrill is the song I like the least, actually. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. I could see it. It makes sense. I feel like this is, like I said, for being a very influential song to their career, I could see why. This is very much influenced by like a combination of like classic rock riffs plus like the metal of the time period, right? Like I can hear a lot of their influences that they mentioned in the videos we watched. Definitely a lot of Metallica riffs that like da 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 gave me a little bit of like a little Pantera as well. So I don't know if that's an influence of theirs or not, but definitely kind of in a similar sort of category. And that like kind of more like opened. I guess it's like more of an open or like suspended chord. Definitely reminds me a lot more of like classic rock. I would say maybe something in the lane of more of like a, I don't know, like maybe more of like a Foreigner or like the Who to some degree. Maybe like a little Zeppelin, but definitely a lot of influences that I listened to growing up. So I feel like I have a lot of appreciation for this song. I'm curious, obviously, to see their progression and what I am familiar with in terms of their discography, but I absolutely do understand, again, kind of like the influential barrier for this. I feel like Kanami definitely learned a lot from like the classic rock and like hair slash like hard rock groups of probably like the late 80s, early 90s. So it makes sense. But this was really good. Like I said, is it my favorite Band-Maid song? I probably would say not on this list, but I definitely understand its significance and why it really kind of, took their career off, certainly. But I definitely feel like for me it's like definitely has, again, definitely has more of a like nostalgia tinge to it, which is certainly not a bad thing. But definitely some riffs that I've heard before. I like that section, like with like the bass like solo section for Misa. I thought that was really cool. And then I went into that like Kanami like two-hand solo. I thought that was two-hand tapping like solo technique. And then she also was doing like a lot of like hammer-ons, pull-offs. She did a few like guitar bends, and then as well as that, I think she did like a little bit of sweeping, but not a ton. I think it was like maybe a couple strings. But I thought it was very interesting. A lot of cool guitar techniques that I feel like they used early on, and I am kind of surprised. I guess not surprised that they used it, but I think they utilized it very well. So solid song. Like I said, I don't believe that I've heard this. Like I said, early Band-Maid discography, I don't believe that I've ever really delved or touched as much. But cool song. Definitely makes sense. So it just says, I remember them as good musician. This song showcases that. I would agree. He says Miku didn't really learn to play guitar much at this point. It was more of an ornament at this point. I would agree. Yeah, I definitely noticed that. I really appreciate this song. I like it, but it's not one of my go-tos as much. I really wanted to do the live performance of this and the next song, Real Existence, but they happened a lot later. I didn't think it was a good idea. That's fair. No problem. So, all right. Well, we're keeping it moving. Speaking of Real Existence, that's the next one. This one discusses the search for authenticity, genuine connections, and the complexities of navigating relationships in a virtual, fast-paced world. It highlights the importance of being true to oneself and embracing the inherent imperfections of real interaction. And Gungi says this is the first song that he has heard from them, and he heard it around the time it was released. Wow. Okay, so you've been OG. So very nice. All right, let's get into Real Existence then. Okay, that's like hopefully it'll play some. Optus, Redis. lot of tremolo picking. Very cool. All right, very cool. This was Band-Maid's Real Existence. If you're joining us for the Band-Maid deep dive, thank you. I know this is not the atypical, regularly scheduled program, but we're doing Metal December here, so very nice. I enjoyed this. Like I said, my earlier information on Band-Maid, I really didn't delve much into, so it's cool to listen to these in like more of a chronological order because I really haven't sat down and done the homework certainly. But I like this. This is very fun. There's a lot of cool techniques that I feel like I should point out that I appreciated. First being I really liked Akane's like almost like galloping technique that she does in the I would say it's in the chorus, I think. But very cool like galloping technique from the double bass pedal. And also I feel like it works really well with like the way that she plays like the snare in this song is just so fun. Like she does a lot of cool like drum rolls and like I think there's just a lot of cool drumming techniques that I really appreciate about that. I also noticed, I don't know if it just like I would assume it's just kind of again or their earlier discography, but I noticed I think their songs might be in a drop tuning, which I thought's cool because like I noticed that Miku kind of was doing like a lot of bar chords, which technically normally signifies doing like being more in a drop tuning. So I thought that was very interesting. There's a lot of again. I'll probably be pointing out Kanami a ton, but she's got such a very eclectic guitar like lead guitar style that I really like. I love that she throughout the entirety of like their discography. Obviously excited to get more into their newer stuff, but she just had like a really good grasp of like leads early on. Like I loved a lot of like at the beginning she starts off with like octaves, and then she does like a lot of like she like does like a lot of cool like almost chord like sort of lead lines, and then she moves into more of like that shreddy like metal sort of like lead guitar work. So she very much is like a jack of all trades when it comes to that. So I'm always very impressed by like some of the lead guitar work from that, and especially early on now that I have had the chance to listen to it. It is really really good. I know I haven't given a lot of love to our main vocalist here, Saiki, but she sounded incredible in this song. I feel like the ones before, not that they weren't good, like I've enjoyed her vocal performances throughout these songs so far, but I just felt like this one, like there's just a lot more like power. There was a lot more, I don't know, there's a lot more emphasis to her tone, I feel like, in this song, where I was like, damn, like she's definitely giving me that what I know from her vocally. So I was just kind of like, damn, like I hope this is kind of like the snowballing effect of more current music from them. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one a lot. This one was incredible. Like I said, I don't remember listening to this one prior to stream today. So cool to finally listen to this song. But yeah, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this one a lot. So, Gunky says now I really like this one, and as well says we are now on the EP of New Beginning. Okay, thank you. All right, we're gonna keep it moving tonight. The next one we've got is Beauty and the Beast. This is a rebellious love song that emphasizes strength, frustration, and self-love. It contrasts the idea of fairy tale romance with a more fierce and assertive perspective on love and relationships. Very nice. And then he says the next song is more of a deep cut, but I love it, so I had to include it. It's on the same EP. Very nice. All right, let's check it out then. Very fast riff. Nice. I like that filter. That's cool. Very nice. Love the bridge. Wow. Nice. Little dive. All right, very cool. This was Band-Maid's Beauty and the Beast. Very nice. Guggy says, you will understand why I love it. Yes, I see. I am now envisioning it all. I thought this was very good. I liked this a lot as well. I feel like for me, like this is definitely has more of a punk sort of beat to it. Um, I also liked a lot of the like. I noticed that they do like a lot of in this earlier material. They do a lot of like chromatic descending runs, like that da da da, like a lot of like metal artists do like using that. Um, I could think of oh God, what the fuck's that song? Da 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 da, and then it's like, oh man, I'm blanking. I know it's like a really popular OG classic metal song. Anyway, um, oh, it's Master of Puppets. God, why couldn't I remember that shit? Yeah, I feel like it definitely reminded me a lot of that. Which again, going back to the Metallica influence, I feel like it's very strong in their earlier discography, so it makes sense. Um, but I enjoy this. This was again another song I really enjoyed. Saki's vocals as well. This was just super fun. I like there was a couple cool moments. I feel like I haven't really pointed it out as much, but I felt like with this song, it seemed a lot more apparent. But I love the kind of combination between Miku's voice and Saki's voice. I felt like this one to me felt the most like I was like, damn, this is really good from both of their vocals, and when they are combined, it just is like that much more enjoyable. So I definitely love that. And there's a lot of switching off between them as well. So I loved hearing that kind of combination of the two. But yeah, the Kanani definitely is definitely influenced by a lot of Metallica, and you could tell in like her earlier writing that seems pretty apparent. So very interesting. Like I said, good B side, good deep cut. Enjoyed it, but very nice. Agagi says, I love my punk songs. And Sonja says, this EP is solid. I would agree. So, very nice. Very nice. Also, I feel like apologies for not being like super energetic. I'm like kind of under the weather slightly. So, if I am not as jovial as I typically am, I am like toughing it out a little bit. So, apologies on that, but all right, very cool. We're gonna keep it moving though. The next one is Don't Let Me Down. This is an exploration of power dynamics and emotional dependency within a relationship. The lyrics are laden with intense imagery and metaphors that paint a picture of the tumultuous and passionate connection. They repeated the plea of "Don't let me down," underscored by a deep fear of abandonment and a desperate need for reassurance, even as relationships seem to be crumbling. Ooh, okay, very nice. And Gunky says will be the last song from the EP. Very nice. Kaylee says, I've taken 2 naps today and currently am doing some of my finals work on my floor. I don't know. Like I was telling my girlfriend earlier before I started streaming, I was like, man, I took like 2 ibuprofens. I had like a headache, and it's still kind of like not too bad, but it definitely not the vibe, certainly. And then I'm doing okay, but I know I can feel like not feeling like 100%. So appreciate y'all. But very nice. Let's get into Don't Let Me Down. Which I feel is very fitting for my commentary just now. So all right, let's get into it. All right, very interesting. This was Band-Maid's "Don't Let Me Down." Very nice. Um, interesting. I liked a lot of the riffing in the verses. And I did like the chorus as well. I feel like I would like to preface that. Um, I I did notice something, and maybe it's like this is only going to hit a very niche audience in terms of like commentary, but I will say two things about this chorus. One, I feel like this chorus definitely gives me a I don't know, it gives me a specific vibe. Oh god, am I losing? Oh no. Oh no. Chat, let me know if I'm dying here or not. Why did I drop a ton of frames? Oh god. Okay, we're coming back. Okay, cool. It looks we're okay. All right. Okay, cool. My computer was freaking out a little bit, but anyway, um, song itself I thought was very interesting. Definitely I feel like again uh for the chorus, I felt like it reminded me a lot of uh an OG like warped group. Definitely reminds me a lot of like social distortion. I don't know why, but that chorus was like the first thing that I like thought of immediately. So I thought like that was very interesting in terms of like chorus memorability. I don't I would assume that obviously social distortion has been around for a lot longer, but whatever reason, I don't know why, but that was like the first thing that I could think of. And I was like, wow, this kind of has like a little bit of a familiarity to it. Um Otherwise, I thought the song was very good. Like I said, I don't really have anything particularly um I don't feel like I have anything particularly bad to say about it, in terms of like I didn't like it. I think it's a very enjoyable song, but I definitely feel like for me it was like yeah, I felt like for me it was like a very interesting sort of like it felt very basic compared to like some of the other songs that they have done. Like some of the other ones that have previously we listened to on stream so far, like I feel like this one kept more more in that sort of like rock category where I felt like I felt like some of their other songs they took a little bit more risk. So I think that's probably the only other thing. The only thing that I could say about this song specifically is like I felt like it was a little bit more neutral, which is I feel like you can't always have a really intense bunch of songs in an EP, but yeah, I thought it was very interesting. But yeah, definitely, of course, reminded me a lot of Social Distortion, which I thought was interesting. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because of my like old school like Warped Tour days, um, but yeah, overall I thought it was very interesting. So can't complain. So let's see. Everyone said it was good so far. Okay, cool. It looked like it was bad on my end here, so just want to make sure. Uh, Kaylee says slightly laggy for me, but it could be my bad internet. Sanjay says you're good. Okay, cool. Gunky says this song was a grower for me. I really like it now. And while calling out Social D. I hope that was a good thing. I don't know. Like I said, I don't assume that that's one of their influences, but definitely reminded me a lot of Social Distortion, which I thought was interesting. But very nice, very nice. All right. Gunky says we are now getting into the EP brand new made. Very nice. Okay, now we're getting into their music. Very cool, very cool. All right. We'll keep it moving here. Okay, Gunky says yes, it's a good thing. I like them. Okay. Yeah, I had a feeling. I know you're an OG Warp Tour OG fan, so all right. The first one is called Before Yesterday, reflects on the feeling of being unable to live up to past moments and the weight of responsibility placed on oneself. This song captures the essence of grappling with the past while navigating the present. Okay. Very nice. All right. Let's check out Before Yesterday. Thanks, Soja. See you hopefully Wednesday.
勇気が何かを教えてくれた肩を寄せ合って見たエンドロー次の日にはもう前を見てたバナよ空の寄せ一人でも大丈夫 And you used to make me smile 強くなれたよ Before yesterday 僕もそうやって誰かを支えられるように置き去りの君のぬくもりが今でも残ってる 出会う前の毎日に戻るだけのはずなのにどうしてこんなにも難しいんだろう Before yesterday 僕はどうやって今まで生きてきたんだって一人立ち上がりカーテンを開いた Goodbye yesterday 僕もそうやって誰かを支えてくんだろう置き去りの君のぬくもりが未来を包み込む
All right, very cool. This was before yesterday. Very nice. I enjoyed this a lot. This one it's so interesting to see again their progression as kind of a, I don't know, a peer into the looking glass almost in terms of their discography, like listening to all of these songs back to back to back in terms of, their releases. It's interesting to see that. Um I definitely like this one a lot, and I think this is again their transition into getting more into writing their own music and stuff. I know this one I believe wasn't written by them, but it is cool to see kind of like, I guess, more the flavor of their writing style kind of, or the flavor of music kind of changing, and I like kind of the more melodic nature of the song. There's a lot more, I would say, collectively a fun differentiation between like rhythm in this song. Like, I love the way that the bass and like the guitar kind of, or bass and drumming have like this open like tug and pull on the song. I thought that that's really cool, and I liked a lot of like the openness that like the drumming has, but as well as that, I think like the bass kind of opens up a little bit more too. So it's been a cool combination of that, and obviously familiar with Akane as well as Misa's kind of, I guess, like differentiation as they continue on in their discography. But I definitely appreciate this a lot more than I think I give it credit for. I haven't heard before yesterday before, so it's really cool to kind of again see the spatial awareness in the song. I also really loved um uh Asaki's vocals in this song specifically. I feel like as we've kind of gotten into more, as we're kind of snowballing, like you can just tell like the confidence level in her vocals just continues to get better and better. So I really appreciate the writing style, the writing change, and like I said, her vocals like just continue to get better and better. So, really like this one. Like I said, haven't heard this one before, so this was a really good vibe. I enjoyed this. So, All right. Guggy says, wait until we get into the next EP. They really kick into high gear, especially since they write all the songs. But we have a few more songs on this EP first. Yes, very nice, very nice. All right, the next one we've got is Nonfiction Days. Gunky says that this is one of their favorites. Nonfiction Days explores themes of struggle, introspection, and the harsh reality of life. The lyrics reflect a sense of loneliness and doubt, questioning one's existence and the choices made in difficult times. Very nice. Okay. Not very nice in terms of the descriptive, but very nice in terms of the next song. So, all right, let's check it out then. Guggy says nostalgia is a big part of why this is my favorite song by them. Okay. Let's check it out. Ooh. Ooh, cool chord phrasing. I like this bridge. All right, very cool. This was Band-Maid's The Nonfiction Days. Um, I like this one a lot. I probably would put this amongst my favorites as well, Gunky. So great choice. Um, I like this also for nostalgia reasons. There's definitely a lot of guitar riffs or I wouldn't say very similar, but similar sorts of crafting in terms of the riff style, especially in like the verses. It reminds me of one of my favorite like rock albums of all time. I guess it would be considered rock or alternative. But there's this band called Amberlin. I love them. Steven Christensen is no longer in the band anymore, but I loved like pretty much all of the records they've done with him. But the album that he did for this song kind of reminded me a little bit of their song Feel Good Drag, which is like one of my favorite Amberlin songs. And like maybe a combination of maybe something off of Never Take Friendship Personal or Cities, which are probably their most common three albums or most popular albums. But a lot of the guitar riffs felt very, very nostalgic in that aspect. And it's not 100% one to one, but I do feel like there's a lot of, I feel like to me, they definitely had a little bit of resonance in that song to this one. So I don't know if maybe they're just in the same tuning or something, but really love that. And I felt like with this one definitely reminded me a lot of that. Obviously, this is a little bit heavier because it's more in that metal space. But I think what really took this song to me for the next level was the bridge section of the song. I thought it was super cool. It was like a little bit dark. I really feel like they switched up the chord phrasing in that song, and I got to give a shout out to Kanami. I think she did a fantastic job with some like really interesting chord progression. I think some of that translated over into that final chorus, which I really loved as well too. But yeah, overall, I thought this was a really, really fun song, high energy. I feel like if they are still performing this song live, which I don't know if they have or if they still continue to, I would hope that they would, just because I think this one is just really well. It gives that sort of live like momentum for me. You know what I mean? Like I'm listening to this song and I'm just like, I can only imagine what I would imagine to hear this in a live perspective. But yeah, overall, I felt like this one was a really damn good song. So I love that. Guggy says they had some good music for sure. I would assume you're referencing Amberlin. I still feel like, again, they're not, no offense to Maddie. He's also in Memphis Mayfire, which is also a prevalent metalcore band. But I don't know. Amberlin will, I feel like this isn't my place to give my opinion, but it is slightly. I feel like Steven Christensen is like that vocalist for this group. Like I would never I have their live split album that they did Cities and Never Take Friendship Personal. I listen to that every once in a while. I listen to it on Spotify too, and I'm just like, damn, so good. But Guggy says I don't think they perform it anymore. Oh, well, hopefully they'll bring it out. Maybe they'll do like a fan voted like thing. That'd be cool. Guggy says the next two songs are their most performed songs. Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll move on to the next one, which is Alone. Delves into an emotional turmoil of feelings trapped, and the desperate need for escape. The lyrics paint a vivid picture of someone who has plunged into a complex maze within another person, only to find themselves ensnared and suffocating. This was the first song they ever wrote and arranged. Guggy says, I know it's disappointing you don't play it anymore. I feel like, I don't know. Like I said, I hope that they get to the point where they could just do like a large set list. But yeah, that's what would have been sick to hear performed. So, but anyway, we're keeping it moving. The next one we have is Alone. So let's check it out.
こさ君の中に飛び込んだ絡まり合う嘘にはもうこりごりさ遊ばれっぽいぽいぐちゃぐちゃ使い捨てにするんでしょ気づけないまま罠にはまってたさぞキャリラにあがってどうしようもなくてただ泣いたSearching for a way to escape oh, oh, oh このまま何もかも忘れさせておくれ何もかも君が忘れてしまったようなそんな目で私を見ないで Doesn't matter if it's on you 受け入れられたらそれでいいじゃないか oh, 現実からの逃避行さ I'm stuck so carry here I need a sleep on this bed here I wanna go I wanna see you
The sweeps. That was cool.
忘れてしまったようなそんな目で私を見ないで Doesn't matter if it's alright 受け入れられたらそれでいいじゃないか oh, 現実からの逃避行さ oh,
Ooh, nice double bass. Cool. All right, very cool. This was Band-Maid's Alone. Very nice. Let's see what we got. Gagi says this is the start of the Band-Maid sound. That is true. That's true. I enjoyed this a lot. Like I said, earlier-ish discography, not as familiar with, but I enjoyed this one a lot. Definitely again a little bit of nostalgia in like the songwriting aspect of things. I will say at least, and I know at least from the perspective of again them getting into their sound and writing their own music after this point in their musical history. I think this is really cool to kind of see like the birth of that, right? Like I think you could tell just like again from the other songs. That's not to say they're not great. Like Nonfiction Days is great. Before Yesterday was great too. But I feel like there's just something about this song specifically where I'm like, I knew. Like I was like, wow. Like if I didn't know based off the video, like, and there wasn't kind of any sort of like markers to know that this is their song, right? Like to me it just felt like, wow, okay, like there was just something about it that I think you could tell like everyone had their own input on this song, I guess, to some degree. Obviously, like it just seemed like more of, I don't know, not to be like I don't know, not to be like so on the nose, but to me it's like one of those songs where I'm like they wrote this song. Like you can tell just because like, like it's so like just how they're playing, like you can tell they're just so into it. The band like collectively is just so involved with this song that I'm like, like it just feels that way. Like I don't know, you can just tell when a song is maybe written by some other people, and that's not to say that like writers are not important or you shouldn't get feedback from like other people, but I think there is really something magical when like you have this group of lovely women that are putting together a song, and it just to me is like cool to hear like the collectiveness of their musical what they bring to the table musically, right? So Really enjoy that. Like from the kind of back and forth between Saiki and Miku was really fun. A lot of the guitar riffs were really sick from Kanami, especially that solo. That solo was insane. I loved a lot of the like hammer on pull off like runs, and then she was doing like a little bit of like sweep picking as well. It was crazy. Akane sounded incredible on the drums. I love how she incorporates like that drum roll so flawlessly into their music. It's insane. And then Misa, of course, like incredible on the bass. But it just seemed like everybody kind of collectively were all on the same page with the song, where maybe some of the other songs I didn't feel as much of that emphasis. So it's cool to see that this is like the like birthplace of them writing their own music. It's really cool. So appreciate that. No Santa says can't stay, but I hope the stream has been fun for y'all. Oh, that's all right. Appreciate you stopping by, No Santa. Hopefully we'll see you on Wednesday. So Biscuit says yes, this is my favorite so far. Hey, let's go. Love to see it. So all right, we'll keep it moving. The next one we've got is Freedom. This explores the theme of self-expression, independence, and the struggle against societal pressures. The lyrics convey a sense of impatience and determination as the artist express desires to break free from constraints and live authentically. They repeat the explanation, get out of my way, symbolizing a resolute refusal to conform and a commitment to pursue one's own path. Very nice. All right. Gungi says this song is so good. They have so much great music that everyone's favorite song by them are so different from each other. And it is a live performance. Very nice. Okay. This is our first live, so very nice. Let's check it out.
それもうなずけていい愛想愛くあの知った
All right, very nice. This was Band-Maid's Freedom. If you're hanging out for the Band-Maid deep dive, thank you. Appreciate it. Gunky says this is a favorite live performance by so many Band-Maid fans. I am not surprised. First of all, shout outs to whoever is doing the live mixing and mastering for them. They sounded incredible. So clear. Tonality is on point. So whoever is doing the live production for them for this video, I assume there's a lot of videos that they had done specifically on their channel that does the live videos. They did incredible. So kudos to them. I enjoyed this one a lot. Very high energy, very fun. I feel like this one is also one of those ones that's a very crowd engaging song, and I'm not really surprised because you could tell they're definitely focusing a lot of their energy to that like live perspective and live energy. So I love that. Akane sounded incredible in this. Her drum solo was nuts. Like I don't know if I don't believe we've watched this one live on stream before, but man, she sounded incredible. There's like a lot of those fills are insane. So, and a lot of her, like, I noticed that like the first half of her fills were a lot relating to like the toms on her drum kit, which I thought was cool. And then like the latter half of her drum solo was like more double bass and like a lot of the kick work. So it was cool to see her like flex in two different ways. So I thought that was really good. Vocally, I also enjoyed Miku and Saki's vocal performance in this song. They both sounded incredible. I think truly, like I said, the magic between them two collectively is like when they come together vocally, they've got really good synergy in terms of their vocals, which I'm sure that they have practiced over the years. But I felt like with this song, I was just like, damn, just like hits super hard. I also really loved Misa's bass work in the song. She was incredible. I love she's using kind of like an SG style like body to her bass, and then has like I assume she's using a 5-string bass from what I could see on the video, which I thought was really cool. Keeping with that again, that like low heavy theme to her bass play, which I thought was incredible. And Kanami also again sounded incredible in this song as well too. So really not surprised, but yeah, this one, great live performance. Again, not really shocked by that in any way, but enjoyed the performance nonetheless. Gogi says we have not watched this yet, and she uses a 5-string bass. Yeah, I did notice that. I wasn't sure, but I could always go back. But I was like, I'm pretty sure she uses a 5-string bass, so really cool. Also, complete side tangent. Every time I see Kanami in our like live videos or just like the videos from earlier, I can't unsee shout outs to another YouTuber who is more famous than I will ever be. But for whatever reason, she reminds me of like Jaden Animations for some reason. I don't know why, but every time I see Kanami, I feel like Kanami and Jaden Animations could have been like long lost sisters. So I don't know why my brain connected them in that way, but every time I see her face, I'm like, they could have been. So if you see the resemblance, let me know in the comments. But all right, very cool. We're gonna keep it moving. The next one I've got here is track 16, or not track 16, number 16 on our list here, which is YOLO. God, what a interesting name for a song. Encourages listeners to face life's challenges head on and embrace their unique journey. The lyrics reflect a sense of frustration with the mundane. That's fair. I feel that. So, all right, let's get into YOLO.
叶わない言葉
right, very cool. This was Band-Maid's YOLO. If you're hanging out, thanks for hanging. Um, all right, let's see what we got. Gunky says we are now on to the album Just Bring It, and Gunky says Kanami really likes finger tapping. I agree. Um, I feel like this one was very interesting. What I think there's a few things that I noticed about this song that I feel like they've improved on, and obviously, I feel as though as their artistry kind of grows and as we get more familiar with it, it's very interesting to see. Like, I know they are like a heavier, a heavier like metal group and stuff like that, but I didn't really notice, or I guess this song maybe helped me, I guess, pay attention a little bit more to the bass work on this song. But I noticed that this song definitely has more of a like low end tone to it, and I don't always feel sometimes that like bass is very prevalent sometimes in music. Obviously, I understand it plays into kind of like the low end tonality of the songs, but I felt like with this one, I was like, there's just a pronounced bass tone in this song, and obviously it worked really well in tandem with the drumming in the song. But I feel like a lot of the kind of the heavier moments of the song specifically, I was like, damn, I'm like, this is really coming from like the bass work, and it was really cool to hear that, just because I think, again, like, I feel like bass players oftentimes are not always the unsung heroes in songs. I mean, unless you're a bass player, I feel like a lot of times, people, joke about bass players all the time in groups, but I always realize, and I think as I've kind of gotten older in music, I feel like I've appreciated bass more, enough to the point to buy my own bass. But I feel like they're such an integral part to, making either song feel like more dynamically interesting or like adds to the heaviness, because they're both playing 6-string guitars, so they're not doing like, unless they are really down tuning the guitars, they're really having a lot more impact in terms of the writing style in Band-Maid. So I feel like, as much as we talk about like kind of the crucial aspects of all the members, I feel like specifically for this song, I was like, damn, like Misa really brings kind of that lower energy, low bass tone that I feel like is well needed in a song like this. So really great. I also like kind of the trade-off between Misa and Kanami in the song. I feel like that was really cool. And then like you also got little bits of Akane on the drums, where she kind of was doing like a little bit of like double bass work. It was really cool to see them all kind of collectively play a little bit more together. Not to say that they haven't beforehand, but I don't know. There's just like a lot more, I guess, like interpersonalness to this song and like their writing, and it seems like they're more comfortable just like playing off of each other, which you love to see, at least in my opinion, what I love to see. So this was really great. I enjoyed this one a lot. I think at first I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna really enjoy this one as much, but definitely came out as more of a fan. So very cool. Let's see. Let's see. Gunky says bass has a lot more of an impact in their music starting with this album. And Misa really is a fan favorite musician and bandmate. That's fair. Like I said, she's incredible. I know I've pointed her out in some of the other lives that we've done, when we've covered Band-Maid, but I feel like she needs to get her flowers certainly. So, very cool. All right. Well, we're keeping it moving. We're back to the documentary slightly. We're gonna go for like a 5-minute period here. So, let's keep it moving.
Breaking new gate.
That's right. Today, we are talking about Omajin time, or Magic Spell Time in English, which comes from the maid cafes. When you order drinks or food in a maid cafe, the maid will say, "Moi, moi, kyun," while making a heart symbol with both hands to cast a spell over your food and drink and make it even more delicious. One of the more popular foods in a maid cafe is an amu rice, complete with a cute illustration drawn by the maid with ketchup. Miku actually did one in the music video of Don't You Tell Me, but it didn't last very long. As she worked for some time in 2 different maid cafes, Miku is using all her experience and has adopted it to the concert audience. Even though the structure is, well, let's just say you will never experience the same omajanai time twice with Miku. She has a real talent for improvisation and uses it to engage with the audience. During omajanai time, the other members are totally free to hang around. Sometimes they just play together,
Are you ready for?
have fun,
This Pocky before Misa's nose hole. It's Ito Misa's nose hole. She's so dead.
look for trouble, or try to avoid trouble. There was even a time when each member took a turn at the drums.
Wow.
But most of the time, it goes like this. Explanations.
Omajanai time is me magic spell time. Yes.
Repeat words.
I say moi moi, you say? I say kyun kyun, you say?
Miku crying because the masters and princesses didn't make enough noise.
Wow! No, 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 no. I want bigger and bigger boys!
Repeat words again.
Moi moi!
And po. You get the picture.
All right, very nice. That very interesting. Gogi says, "Are you ready for some fun?" She drew a pigeon on the food. That's awesome. And magic spell time is so much fun at their concerts. Very nice, very nice. It is very interesting crowd engagement. I'd imagine is unlike anything seen in current modern bands or artists now that come through the States. So I definitely feel like it's a memorable experience nonetheless. So all right. Well, I guess we're doing Magic Spell Time. So let's check it out. Okay, 3:30.
そんな仕方ないっぽね。行くっぽよ。おまじないタイム。おまじないタイム初めてというご主人様お嬢様いらっしゃいますかっぽ。あ、でもね、ほらこんな少ないということはみんな知っているということだっぽね。じゃあほら、もっともっとって言わなくてもすごい声が聞こえるってことでよろしいですかっぽ。あんまり言っちゃあれかもよって言われるかもしれないけど、結構ね、なんかカメラいっぱいあるの気づいてると思うけど、カメラ映るからさ、小バトの萌え萌えタイムが大きいと小バト嬉しいっぽ。あ、小バトの思いは言ってないっぽ。ちょっと独り言がピュアって出ただけだっぽ。いくっぽよ。じゃあご主人様お嬢様との心をつなぐ大切なお時間ですっぽ。いきますっぽ。萌え萌え萌え萌えキュンキュン萌え萌え
Check it out, yo.
邪魔しないの。萌え萌え萌え萌えなんて違う、小バトが萌え萌えっていうより声が大きくなる。どういうことっぽ。やめなさいっぽ。小バトがなんか AI でも良くなるみたいな感じ良くないと思う。イエイじゃないぽ。誰なんだっぽこのイエイは。ミサちゃん今日一の笑顔そこで出さないっぽよ。萌え萌え、はい、萌え萌え萌え萌え萌えクレッポークレッポー
Check it out, yo.
だから誰なんだっぽ。チェック
Yo.
対応力ねえ、小バト置いてかれてるから小バトの時間なのに小バト置いてかないでぽ。戻りなさい。今すぐ戻りなさいぽ。あら、ミサちゃんの衣装も可愛くなって素敵ねぽ。泣いてないもんぽ。いくっぽよ。あ、そう、一応ね、ほら今日初めて見た方もいらっしゃると思うぽ。新しい衣装になりましたぽ。ちょっとね、より豪華なキラキラした感じで映えを狙っておりますぽそれでは気を取り直して、ちょっとね AI に小バトがなってもいいっていう風にならないように、ここは小バトの意地を見せたいと思うぽ。いくぽよ。萌え萌えキュンキュン萌え萌え進化進化ワールドドミネーションせいワールドドミネーションせいワールドドミネーションせいラスト1個バーンドメイバーンドメイバーンドメイバーンドメイバーンドメイバーンドメイバーンドメイバーンドメイバーンドメイバーンドメイバーンドメイ
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I'm losing my voice watching this.
これからもバンドメイドの世界征服目指して頑張っていくぽ。ズキュンバキュンドキュン萌え萌えキューンバーン
おとぎ話じゃできない、うまくいかない現実ばっかで忘れたはずの夢は色を変えて届いたメロディー、美しくないわからなくなってく、思い返すほどに心積もってゆく。I never wait for me, I never wait for you、 遠く連れてってよ今日は光さまよって次の糧にして私は生きる。知れない声に当てて記憶たどる朝に一人で見つれないもの一つ守りたくてたどり着いたの、終わりにしないで眠れなくなってどうか止めないで声が晴れるまで I never wait for me, I never wait for you、 遠く連れてってよ今日は光さまよって次の糧にして私は生きる。I never wait for you, I never wait for me、 遠く連れてってよ今日は鍵開けるように心切り裂いてあなたを超える。 I never wait for me, I never wait for you、 遠く連れてってよ今日は光さまよって次の糧にして私は生きる。ありがとうグループ。
All right, very cool. This is Omanji Time, and then also the song Time. Very cool. And then it looks like Gungi says time delves into the themes of relentless passage of time, emotional struggles, and the longing for dreams amidst reality's constraints. Very nice. Let's see, a couple comments here. Too bad there are no subs, but you get the gist. Yeah, I was gonna say definitely they had new outfits here, very nice. And then throughout the years, Miku gets a song here or there where she is the singer, and this one is one of them. Very nice. Okay, I had a feeling. I definitely like this. I thought this one was very solid. The Omanji time was very interesting as well. I have never personally been to a maid cafe, and I don't plan on going at any point, so I feel like this is probably my only introduction to that. The only other imagery that I am familiar with that is like if I've watched other like animes and stuff, obviously they play a role in those shows. So the only other imagery that I have of it other than this is through anime, which is interesting. But I thought this was very I like that they did the Omanji time and then obviously transitioned into the song time. I thought that was cool. Cool thing. Definitely an experience that I feel like was unique to the show, and I imagine it is something that obviously is unique to their fan base, which is really awesome. Um, as well as that, I think the song was very cool. I liked a lot of like the rhythm patterns in the song. I feel like a large focus on that is really Akane, as well as Misa. I feel like they definitely controlled a lot of the rhythm of the song, which I thought was cool. Also, it was again cool to hear Miku just kind of be the front runner for this song. I feel like she's got great vocals. So it's cool to see her kind of take that role. And then uh, Kanami was really cool. I like again, she utilizes like the way she utilizes guitar is very interesting to me. I feel like she definitely takes a unique approach to the rhythm section. So or not rhythm section, lead sections of the guitar work. So I definitely like that a lot. I think um it was a very interesting song nonetheless. So enjoyed it none it was a good vibe for sure. So Gagi says this is where Miku started playing Zamantis guitars. Very nice. I have never been to one either. Uh I won't be either. No big cafes for me. Fair enough, fair enough. All right. I don't know where is a good stopping point, Gunky, but I know I probably should head to bed soon. I'm feeling I definitely on the struggle bus today for sure. So if you feel like this is a good stopping point, or if I should do the next song to be at 20, let me know. But wherever you want. Okay, cool. I feel like this would probably be a good time, good time to stop. Um, thanks very much to Gunky. Obviously, wish I was a little bit in better spirits, certainly. But you do what you can do. I just didn't want to cancel last minute, as I feel like you put a lot of time and effort into it. So I tried to do what I could to give my spirited reactionary content. But if you joined today, this is very much a off day, first and foremost, and secondly, we cover mostly K-pop, which is also fun. I love that. If you enjoy K-pop, we'll be coming back to that. I've got my year-end vibes, so we're going to be doing that this year. I will probably break the stream off into like metal / heavier music, alternative music, and then obviously the K-pop stuff in another stream. So, very cool. That's it. That's all I got. Again, huge shout outs to Gungi. We will be continuing this on Wednesday. So come back Wednesday for the rest of, not the rest of it in totality, but more of it. And then we'll be continuing on next Monday and next Wednesday as well. So very excited. I know this has been a long time coming. And I can't guarantee this is going to be on YouTube potentially just because of copyright. So if you are watching this, watch it on Patreon. If not, do what you want. But anyway, it is December. We are doing wheel spin. I didn't forget. I do remember. I did save time for that. So we gotta do it. Gunky says there is a good chance you could post this on. Okay. I wasn't sure, honestly, because I thought Japan. I don't know how good they are with like I don't know how good they are with copyright for like Band-Maid stuff. So if they're good, great, I'll take it, But wasn't sure. So very nice. Sonja, if you're watching this, you are still on this list, and we still need to take care of your pick. So let me know. I'll hit you up probably later tomorrow. Gunky says there's a good chance you could post this on YouTube. They are not hardcore about copyright, unlike most of Japan. Yeah, that's what was my thought. So I was like, I wasn't sure if it was gonna make it on, but I'm very appreciative that it will likely make it on. So, all right. If there's nobody to be added to this potential, I didn't take Sonja off. If there is no one to be added to this list, then I think we are good. But let's. I'm gonna hit shuffle a couple times, and we're going for it. So, see what we got. Oh my god. Oh, she's gonna be thrilled. Oh man. Jesus Christ. Okay, well, if you're watching this, well, first of all, I know where you live because we live in the same house, but that's awesome. I don't know who recommended that, but that's sick. I'll be curious to see what she picks, honestly. Um, if she has something, if not, then I'll spin it again on Wednesday. But I'll run it by. I'll shout out to my girlfriend. I'll run it by you tomorrow. But that's awesome. Uh, Connie says wheel time. Let's go. Mooney says LVO. Oh yeah, you're right there, Gunky. Oh, oh man. Well, very cool. If I oh god, Kaylee says she should make you buy her a shelf load of albums. Funnily enough, she gave me all of her like 80s albums. Yeah, literally, like I think she has like two or three 80s records that are now a part of my collection because she's just like you could just have them. So, other than that, I don't know. I did buy her the Frumus 9 light stick, so I feel that is, but I'll have to ask her who she would like me to cover on here. So, but yeah, thanks y'all. Appreciate it. Shoutouts to my girlfriend for winning the wheel. I think Diz was the one who recommended for her to be put on the wheel. That's awesome. So very cool. I'll be seeing y'all Wednesday. Stay safe if you're enjoying the snow. So see y'all on Wednesday. Peace.